This is Mari Robeson of Love Lulu Creative, a podcast that supports and celebrates artists and creative entrepreneurs while giving back to the community in a unique and meaningful way. This is episode number 38, and I have such a good episode for you today. Such a nice way to celebrate April with the lovely artwork of Katie Roberts, also known as Ladie Katie on Instagram and everywhere else on the internet. She's a beautiful illustrator and she creates products. She does pet portraits. She has a lovely journal that's out now. And on top of all of these things, she happens to also be an attorney. Pretty impressive. And I really enjoyed my opportunity to get to speak with her. We touch on a lot of different topics about living a creative life, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to like this one. So if you are liking these episodes, please subscribe to the channel and share with your creative friends. So much good advice here on these episodes. And we just want to keep supporting the arts. So thanks for tuning in and stay tuned for a really fun episode with Ladie Katie. Hi, Katie. I'm so excited to have you on the show today. I have been a big fan of yours for quite some time, and I'm just really wanting to get to know more about your creative journey because it's super multifaceted. So thank you.
Mari. I'm so excited to be here. I was so surprised that you asked me. So.
Oh no, I think your work is really great. I love your all the illustrations that you do on all the products, and I can't wait to kind of get into that. But when I said multifaceted, I'm really impressed with also the fact that you're an attorney as well.
Yeah,
so are you
not typical?
No, usually you're the first I've met. So this is going to be really, really interesting. So you are in California, correct?
Yes, I just moved to Redondo Beach.
So where have you always been from California?
Yes, I grew up in Marin, so near San Francisco. Then I went to LA for undergrad, moved back to San Francisco for law school, stayed there until the end of last year, and then moved to Redondo Beach.
So did you just newly graduate then as an attorney?
No, I graduated from law school in 2013.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so are you working in that field, or are you solely doing your artwork?
So I've been kind of going back and forth in between. And so since I moved to Redondo Beach, I've just been doing art, but I plan to start applying again soon. I do child advocacy. So that's representing children and parents that are involved in dependency. So abuse or neglect is involved.
That's really powerful that you do that work. Do you use your art in that with the kids?
Well, it is interesting. I hadn't before, but I went to a conference before I moved to Redondo in Anaheim, and there was this video that came out. It's actually on HBO now, called Foster. It's really good. I recommend watching it. But
Cool.
One of the people in it is an artist, and he's also does music, and he uses that with the kids that he works with in foster care. And I thought that was a really cool way of bringing them both together. Traditionally, everybody wants to see you either as an artist or a lawyer, and I've always been this kind of in between of both, and I want to fully be both. I don't want to hide part of myself. So that's something that I really would like to incorporate and find a way to bring them together.
Oh, well, gosh, there's so much information out there on that, but I'm sure you'll blaze your own path in how to do that. But art therapy with children, I've dabbled in it a little bit, and it's really fascinating, and it's also really helpful. Not only art therapy in children, but therapy as adults. I use art as my therapy, I will tell you that.
I remember growing up, my mom, if I wanted more art supplies, she would be like, well, it's cheaper than therapy.
Exactly. I love that. Well, you brought up your mom. We kind of touched on this a little bit about in our emails. We were talking about um, the support network around you, supporting being an artist, and um, that is really interesting when you're somebody who has gone down this very this path of education to have this job that it's very different from living the life of an artist. It is, is it? I don't know. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it comes across that way that it would be, but it doesn't have to be. But did you feel that you received the support from your close network of people to be an artist when you were as compared to being a lawyer? Does that make sense? It's a
Oh
complicated
yeah.
question.
No, it definitely makes sense. And it's hard to talk about because I don't want to like offend anyone. And I mean, I love my family and my friends, and they've been supportive in many other ways. But in terms of feeling supported as an artist, I definitely haven't always felt that way. It didn't seem like something to celebrate necessarily, as opposed to like passing the bar. Like that was such a big deal and so celebrated. But
Right, right. I wonder why that is, and I mean, I think every artist I've ever spoken with, and I don't think anybody can take any offense to it. I think it's just that people don't really understand that the value of art, as opposed to, I mean, they can very clearly see the value of having an attorney, you know, but art is equally as valuable, and sometimes just not understood. Does that make
especially
sense?
from the people, oh, totally. Especially from the people that are close to you and used to you. So like growing up, I always made art for everybody like that I care about. Like for holidays, I always made custom gifts or would sew something or make a painting. Like that's always just been how like art is my love language. Um,
I love that.
so always how I've like shown people that I care about them. And I was listening to a podcast. Trent Shelton has a podcast called Straight Up, and I've really liked listening to it lately. Really recommend it. But he gives this example of sometimes when he does public speaking and he'll be doing an event and he'll have somebody come onto the stage and close their eyes, and he'll take some money, like a few dollars, and hold it in front of their face, like right in front of their eyes, and be like, okay, tell me what you see. But it's so close they can't tell what's in front of them. And so then he'll have them close their eyes again. He'll take a step back and be like, tell me what you see. And like maybe they can see like it's money, but they can't read the amount. And he'll take another step back, tell me what you see, and so on until they can see the money in front of them and like how much it is. And so he explains like sometimes people that are so close to you, they can't really see your value. Like they're so used
Wow, that's so powerful, and that's really, really true.
they're so used to seeing like your gifts that you're always making, the things that you're creating. They just get used to it, so they can't really see it from like new eyes.
And I think that's true of ourselves as well. Like, I know people will say things to me about my art, and I'll be like, "What? What are you talking about?" Like, like they'll be very complimentary, and you're just like, it's just such a part of you that
Oh yeah,
you can't separate from it and see how other people are viewing it. Which, gosh,
totally.
wouldn't that be fun if you could have that moment?
Yeah, but I feel like almost that could be bad because like how would you get better if you already thought you were the best, you know?
Mm. Yeah, no, that's true. I just think it would be kind of interesting to see how people like what their visceral response was to something that you created. It'd be kind of fun to feel what they felt if it was
Mhm.
similar to what you felt when you were creating it, you know.
Mhm. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I was
Anyway,
just talking to my husband about this yesterday when we were taking my dog Molly for a walk, and I had like done an illustration of a book that I'm reading right now, and the author had messaged me about it because I posted it in my stories, And I was like, so like having a fangirl moment, like, oh my God, I can't believe that she contacted me and saw it and messaged me about it. And he was just like, it's still like so surprising to me that you get so surprised when people like your work and appreciate it.
Always. I'm
Yeah.
I'm always surprised. I think it's funny, because when you're making something, you're creating something, I feel like once it's done, then, it's not mine anymore. It kind of goes out into the world, and that, I mean, technically it's mine, so people don't you know what I mean? But like, you want it to go out into the world. It's like musicians, when they create music, they don't want to just keep it to themselves. They want it to go out into the world.
Yeah.
So you kind of lose that sense of, and then when someone comes, circles back around, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is like blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah.
you know?
Or like you felt the same way. Like I
Yeah,
did. Like you get why I made it.
you get it. That's the best.
That's like
Yeah.
such a good feeling.
I agree. So, well, it's interesting because I read in your bio, you were talking about when you were taking the bar, you still went back to the hotel room and worked with your watercolors to kind of decompress and de-stress from all of that.
Yes.
So,
It's like a week of a test and because I have learning disabilities, so I got extended time for it. And so instead of it taking like 3 days, it was 6 days. And so it's like all day, every day. And then all I wanted to do is just like go back to my room and just draw something or paint something.
gosh, I really, really get that.
I like else around because you stay at the hotel where the test is, and like everybody at the hotel is like you see them walking around with their outlines and studying, and I'm just like I can't fit any more information in my brain.
And is that Molly?
Yeah. Fine.
um,
Molly
yeah.
came with me to take it also.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she did in the hotel.
Is she your support dog?
She is.
I have my support cats.
Mm.
So I find this really interesting because here we are in this crazy, crazy time where we're all like in our homes, and we're, being very mindful to respect, the government and stay in place. And for me, it's actually not that much different because I work at home and I am an artist, but I do notice the anxiety that everybody's kind of feeling. And um, more than ever, I feel that compelled to be creating artwork during this time.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we're so lucky that we can do that from home.
Right. It's so interesting that it affected businesses in ways that I would never have thought those businesses would ever be affected, and here we are, and trying to support one another. Uh, so kind of that concept of bringing in art into your life, even if you're don't consider yourself an artist. Everybody's an artist, by the way, but just that therapy of sitting down and the calmness of painting or drawing or even just doodling something is a really powerful thing to be doing right now. It's
Mhm.
helpful. But what I really, really loved was what I saw on your Instagram. I think it was last week, and you posted a bunch of your illustrations, a picture that you had posted about them being outside for anybody to take one if they wanted to have a piece of artwork in their home. And I thought that was so great. I don't live in a little neighborhood that I would have absolutely done the same thing. But tell me, what's the inspiration behind that? Why did you decide to do that?
I was just like wrapping up some of my orders the night before, and I have been like thinking so much about like what can I do? There are so many people that are giving so much right now, like the
Mm-hmm.
doctors and the people that work at the grocery stores, just like risking
Right.
their own health and safety for us.
Mm-hmm.
And like yes, what we're supposed to do is stay inside, and I can do that, but I just wanted to do something else also that felt like right for me. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like wrapping up my orders, and I just had like this light bulb. I'm like, I make art. Like I said, that's my love language. So that's something that I can easily give. Like I have prints that are ready to go right now. Like in my inventory. Like, so I just took one of Molly's little gates and I taped them. I mean, it wasn't like the prettiest art display, but I just like taped them all over Molly's little gate and I put it outside with a free sign saying basically, find something that makes your heart happy, like take it and keep it for yourself or give it to somebody else.
This is just so great. I love it so much. So what happened?
So about like 3/4 of them were taken, and then it started to get really windy that afternoon. And I have a security camera in my driveway, so one of them had flown down the driveway more, and so I saw this like man come and like pick it up, and because I got an alert when he got like closer to the house, and tape it back up for me. And then I saw him like bring his wife over and pick
Oh,
out something for her. And but then I realized like, okay, this is all blowing away. I should probably bring it in now. So then that was nice, just like because I saw that people had taken things and then kind of didn't think about it again, and thought I'd put it out again eventually. But then on Nextdoor yesterday, I got a notification with a neighbor that she had posted a picture of the little art display and said, like, I don't know you, Katie Robert, but I saw this in front of your house. And I just wanted to say thank you for doing this right now. And it was really nice. And then all these other neighbors started responding. And some of them like said that they had taken something or that they saw it and it made them smile. And so now I'm going to put it out again, like after we hang up. And I even have some requests of things that people, after they saw the photos, that they want me to put out there. So
I wish I lived in a little neighborhood. I would do the same thing. I have to really wrap my mind on how I can help. I think that's just so lovely, and it was so organic of you to just have this impulse to do that. And it does art. I mean, that's my hashtag is art makes you happy, and it really does. It's a little bright spot when things are kind of cuckoo out there, you know.
right. Yeah, and I figured like if we're all stuck inside, it might as well like be pretty in there. Like it might as well be nice to look
Yes.
at.
Yes. Well, that's a big thing in, interior design and also feng shui. Like what you wake up and you see, the first thing you see is kind of how you experience your day and you go out into the world that way. So having something real pretty to wake up and look at or have in a special spot, maybe in your home office, your new home office.
Mhm.
Oh, so good. That's a really touching story. I like that very much.
Yeah, and
So,
it's just like a really nice way to connect with people right now, also that I didn't
mhm,
know before. And I
right.
am new to the neighborhood, and it was like we moved over the holidays, and I was so busy with orders for the holidays that I just kind of like lived in my studio, went to the post office, and went to yoga, and that was kind of it. So I didn't get to like meet people right away.
Mhm,
And then
mhm.
all of this has happened, and we're all trapped inside. So it is nice to now be able to have like a venue to meet the neighbors.
So good. Really, really, really good. What a great way to meet your neighbor
Yeah.
through art. It's just lovely. So, okay, so let's talk about the art. When did that all start for you then? I mean, did you have your Etsy shop when you were in law school, or was that something like what day did you wake up and just go, I think I'm going to pursue this as a little bit more seriously?
So I had my first art show my last year of law school. And I remember like telling my parents about it, and my dad was just like, you're in law school, right?
He's all worried.
I'm like, what's going on? And it's like my last year, but I think I had just been kind of like suppressing. I'd been doing a little bit of art when I could, but I had been like suppressing that part of me to be like the law student and study and do that. And I hadn't really like embraced that part of me. And then I just decided, like, screw it. I need to do this because like that's what makes me feel good. And
So was it an art exhibit or what was it that? Was it
Yeah,
a show at the school or?
what started it off was like part of an art walk.
Oh,
And I had
okay.
been selling I do lots of like doggy portraits.
Mm-hmm. They're so
And
cute.
yeah, because obviously like Molly is my muse. And I love dogs and all animals, but dogs are really special to me. And so I'd been selling some of my portraits and signs at a store in Mill Valley, and they had been doing the art walks, and she asked me if I wanted to do my show there. So I did that, and I made all these different dog portraits. And I think I had maybe already started my Etsy shop at that point, but I was just doing jewelry. Like when I
Oh,
started my Etsy shop, it was just jewelry because I like making that too. I like making everything really.
sure. You're
Um,
creative.
and then slowly, like I transitioned out of jewelry.
Well, because now you have a really, like a real collection, a body of work where it's very consistent with what you do. So you do the custom portraits, you do the dog portraits. The wedding stuff is fantastic. It's
Oh, thanks.
really fun and happy and sweet, and all that's custom too, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then you do custom art for bloggers. And so how does that work? Do people like they contact you or they DM you on Instagram? Like does is it still all through Etsy?
Yeah, so a lot of it's messages through Instagram or Etsy, and especially for like bloggers as opposed to a custom family portrait, it's like they kind of know the look that they want, but they
Hmm.
don't know like where, like what to include and the placement of things. So it's cool because I get to like help them um like create their vision, and I get to be a part of that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and it's not like based on just like drawing a photo to look like the photo, you know?
Right. Well, it's very stylized, which is really great. I'd love to have you draw me because I'd actually be skinny in one of your drawings and tall,
Oh, me
which
too.
I am neither one of those. um, so that's really great. And then I saw that you have this amazing planner that is out. So what was the inspiration behind creating that?
Yeah, so my planner has just been my baby kind of. And I just feel like in the past year has been just this journey for me. And I was really craving um like positive reinforcement, I guess, and like
Mm-hmm.
words of affirmation. Because when you work for yourself, it's not like you have a boss that's saying, good job, like,
Right,
keep
right.
it up, like, here's a raise or something. And I just, I wanted, like, it's nice to have people say nice things about what you're doing and to see how hard you're working and acknowledge that. And so I just kind of created all of these like illustrations of like my support team, I guess, saying the things that I wished other people would be saying to me. And
Wow.
I had been, already collecting like quotes whenever I would listen to a podcast and something resonated with me and writing it down. And just I have like a thoughts note in my phone of just like when I think of an idea about something, and I write it down. And so I'd already been collecting all of the stuff. And so the planner is it's a planner, but it's also kind of a book because it has all these illustrations, and all the illustrations are paired with the quotes, or the quotes are paired with the illustrations. And that was really fun to bring those together.
And it is a ton of work, I know. So did you do the graphics for it?
Yeah, I started from scratch. So like every single page, like the note pages, like I made them, they have illustrations on them with inspirational words. The calendar, like month at a glance, like there are random quotes and like messages throughout. Like, so it'll just be a random day and it will say something like, do something nice for somebody, or give yourself a break, or something like that, just
Mm.
scattered throughout.
So, did you get a publisher for this, or did you self-publish it?
So I self-published it. Um, and before this, I had been making my planners because I did sell planners, but just with different covers. Um, and like the planners are all the same, the general look of a planner.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh, and it would take me so long to make these things, like spiral bind them and everything. And so having them published was such a game changer in terms of my time and the quality of them. But it's just been so amazing because you put something out there, and I know I really liked it. I loved it. Like, I carry it around with me everywhere. It's in front of me right now. Um, and I didn't know like how other people would feel, but it turns out like a lot of people, I think, were craving those like positive messages
Mm-hmm.
to be seen. And so it's crazy. Like the other day, this woman had ordered like four for her friends, and then she received them and loved them. And then she ordered like 20 more. And
Wow.
so, yeah, so it's been so crazy. And that was like at the beginning of March, and I didn't know like how long like people would want to be buying them for, but people are still purchasing them. And that just makes me really happy because like I just want people to feel good about themselves.
That's really wonderful. So, did you make it so it's generic to, it could be for any year, or you're going to have to recreate? Did you make the calendars specific to 2020?
Specific to 2020.
Mm.
So like already, thinking about what to do for next year's, and it's really fun for me to like have an illustration and figure out what quote goes with it, or have a
Hmm.
quote and get to like make the quote come to life with an
Hmm.
illustration.
Yeah, I've done a couple of books that the like a guided journal like that. Those they're just it's a labor of love. Especially I know the book that I created a couple years ago was, I mean, a labor of love with every page illustrated and written, and then you have to lay it out and you know
Yeah.
figure out the publishing and all that stuff. But it's really worth it in the end, and especially when you're getting that kind of feedback. That's really really a great affirmation or confirmation that you're on the right path.
Yeah, and it's like so nice to get like people will post pictures on Instagram of it, or they'll
Hmm.
send me messages and
Yeah.
pictures and just say like how much they love it, and like how it's been such a game changer for them, and like that's just so nice.
Hmm. So, when you're creating your art, are you doing it in watercolor? Or are you using like the Copic pens, or do you use both, or how do you create your
I
artwork?
I use everything. Like I am always changing. So like how you said everything looked kind of I don't know, like cohesive or something earlier. It's like that's just my stage right now, I think, but I'm always changing. So like originally I was doing like 99% acrylic pet portraits. Um and then I got into the Copic markers, and I still love them. Um and then I also do like some digital art on my iPad, which is really awesome because then I can take it like everywhere with me and
Hmm.
have an arsenal of different tools to use. Um, so like those are
I have not mastered the iPad, the
um,
Procreate. I mean, I like it. I think it's great for like hand lettering things, especially when you can mirror it with your laptop. But I don't know. I'm just old school. I guess I'm just a paintbrush and paper gal.
I mean, obviously I'll always love that like feeling. But
But I
it
mean, you can get that on the
yeah,
iPad,
that's
which is what's
so
amazing to
cool.
me. I just
Yeah, like
it
you can make
feels
your own brushes and make your own
right. Yeah. It just feels really weird to me though.
oh yeah,
I don't
definitely
know
something
why. It's
that
just
you have to get used to.
yeah.
Like over the holidays when we're driving back to Marin to see my family, it's like a 6-hour drive, and I had a
Mhm.
lot of like custom portraits that I was working on. So like my husband's driving and I'm like working on some of my custom orders in the car, whereas like it would be really hard to watercolor in a movie.
Right. Exactly. Wow. That's
So it just like
impressive.
opens up the possibilities of like where you can work and what you can make.
Isn't that great?
And yeah,
So
and that's
good.
what I love about it.
It's truly such a great time to be an artist.
Mhm.
There's just
Really.
it's even like just being able to put your art on products like you do, like you have the mugs and the journals and pillows, and it's just so fun that we can now take art and put it onto product. And it's also kind of like running down a rabbit hole though too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was like listening to your episode with the couple. I forget their names,
Oh,
but
Christy Kennard,
yeah,
Christy
and
and Janya.
yeah, and like how they're making leggings, and you're talking about how it like it's just so awesome to see your stuff on different things, and I love that. It was nice to hear that I'm not like the only one that's like that.
Oh yeah, no, I have even MJ who Marie Joie Hughes, who was my first episode. She does these amazing like yoga wear, and I have like several of them, and they're just wild with their her illustrations, and they're just so completely unique. And I don't know, it's just really beautiful to me to see, to know the artist that made this textile, and it's my friend. Like that's just the
Yeah.
whole thing is just
Oh,
oh, I live for it.
and like why not wear art?
Yeah, right. I
Beautiful to
agree.
look at, and then it can also be functional.
I totally agree with you on that. So you have had quite a journey from attorney to artist and back and forth again, and it's just probably going to be a really fun ride for you combining the two throughout. Would you? What would be the best advice you would have given yourself when you were just starting out with your art career?
I think it would be that although it would feel amazing to have the support of your friends and family, like cheering for you, you don't need it. Like you can do it without that. And,
Mm,
and that's hard to accept, but don't let it hold you back.
that's really valuable because I think that so many artists experience that, you know. I don't know
Mhm.
why we do, but it is something to just kind of stick to your guns and
Like you'll always want it, but just know that you don't need it.
yeah. Yeah. Huh. Well, this is just really, really great. Thank you. So, oh wait, one more question. What is the lady in front of Katie? Why Lady Katie?
So I was actually thinking about that this morning, and I think it started with, so like I said, I just like to make things. And in law school, I had a secret garden and I built a bar called the Shady Lady out of just like crappy wood that I had found for free. And I like painted a lady on it and she had like sunglasses on. And so it'd be like, oh, meet me at the Shady Lady at 5 my backyard. And then that was like around the same time that I was like gonna open my store. And I just wanted it to be like something different, but something easy to remember. And my mom always says that it like sounds like a brothel or something, but Lady Katie, but
Oh, I got more of a British reference than I got a brothel. That's
that's good.
funny.
That's
But you know,
exactly
us
what I'm
mamas.
going for.
That's funny. I think it's brilliant. I really do because it's very memorable, and you know there are so many artists out there, and it's like people will say that, and you're like, oh, I know that artist. It's just it's so unique, and that was really quite brilliant. So good job.
Like Katie is not the most unique name, so I easily get lost.
But
So
Lady Katie is. I like
yeah.
it. Well, thank you so much. This was really, really fun. And I really got just enjoyed getting to know you a little bit better and hear more about the person behind the brand, the brilliant person behind the brand.
Thank you so much. It's been so
Yeah.
nice like getting to know you through this and through listening to the podcast, and everything that you're doing to support other artists, I think is really amazing.
Well, we are all in this together.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this podcast and you'd like to support it even more, you can join me over on patreon.com/Mari Robeson and become a patron of mine. If you're a patron of mine, you'll receive bonus episodes every month, only for patrons. You'll also receive 20% off all the merchandise in my online shop, marirobeson.bigcartel, and you will be receiving free printables every month that will be of my artwork, and they're some really fun things. You can follow along on Instagram and you can see what I'm creating just for my patrons. I would deeply appreciate it. It would help me keep the lights on, and it would help me pay all the fees that it takes to put together a podcast like this so that I can keep supporting all the artists, keep bringing you great information, keep paying it forward to the next generation of artists. It's just a wonderful thing, and I would really deeply appreciate your support.